Hello and welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And of course today we are going to be going through some more analysis on that PSV performance last night. What exactly went wrong for us in the defensive areas? We are going to be covering the game in its entirety. But before all that, I want to say happy birthday. And I want to say happy birthday to FC Barcelona. Today, 119 years old. It was 119 years today, on this day in 1899, that Barcelona was founded. And right throughout those 119 years of fantastic history, we've had some great memories, and hopefully there are many more, and hopefully on the near horizon as well. But to continue those great memories and to continue that rich vein of history, we have to improve. We simply have to improve, and to see results this season in the Champions League and in La Liga, defensively and in midfield, we've got to sharpen up. And in today's video, we are going to be analysing those kind of woes, what we need to do better, where we're going wrong. And just in midfield yesterday, how exactly did we lose the ball that many times? But as we always do, guys, we will kick off right here with the player influence. And what's really important here to me, and straight away jumps out, is Sergio Busquets. How well there he's highlighted, but look around him. Vidal, Rakitic, there wasn't a lot of help yesterday. I think Busquets, out of everybody, was really isolated, and that hurt us, as I'm going to come on to. It really did in that midfield. The other thing I would highlight here is about the fullbacks. I don't think they really had a lot of impact yesterday. We didn't really have much benefit down the left or the right hand side, and particularly here, Nelson Semedo. It's only really because his name is so long there that he looks like he's quite far up the pitch, but he really wasn't. He was mostly inside of his own half, and I think he needs a bit more confidence, a bit more bravery to just get forward, get into those spaces. And they did have some really nice moments, some nice link-ups where Semedo went on the overlap and Dembele found him. They were looking for each other all the time, and I think there is a really good partnership which really can blossom. But we've got to see Semedo getting into that opposition half and getting into those areas a lot more often. And I simply have to start here with the further analysis, with the way that we really did crumble under that PSV high pressure yesterday, because it cannot be ignored. In that midfield yesterday, just like I said in the review, I honestly can't remember the last time you saw Busquets give away so many balls inside his own half, in bad areas. We're not just talking about here in the opposition half when it's no problem to give the ball away, you can win it back. It was in bad areas yesterday from Busquets. Rakitic gave it away in a really bad area too. Arturo Vidal, there's defenders, and even the goalkeeper. It was not good yesterday, and we have to look at that. And we will start right here with Sergio Busquets. And what I want to do here is just look at where he's given the ball away. 10 passes yesterday that he missed. Obviously, a lot of them were successful, but look at those that he missed. Inside of his own half, one there in a crucial area. That was really early on in the game there as well. There's one out wide, there's one in the centre. And when you're giving away the ball in those kind of areas, the opposition are coming onto you really quickly. They're closing in on your own goal, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And what I want to do here is just compare that Sergio Busquets there, where I feel he was so isolated. Vidal, Rakitic weren't giving him enough options, and for that reason, he had no choice really but to be pressed and give the ball away. And now look at this. This is Sergio Busquets against Atletico Madrid. Not a single ball from him in 90 passes attempted was given away in his own half. Atletico Madrid tried to press him as well. You had Rodri in that game coming into him, but in that game you had Arthur, and that's the really big key here for me. Arthur sits a bit deeper alongside Sergio Busquets, and they can just lay the ball off to each other. They can work it, they can open up the angles, they can open up the space, and they can wait for their moment to play the ball forward. Busquets yesterday didn't have the options from Vidal and didn't have the options from Rakitic. Neither of those two players, in my opinion, were brave enough to come for the ball, to receive it in those kind of areas in your own half, where Arthur usually would. And I still really do believe, in this team, Arthur's influence is still underrated. And if we just look at the passes of Arturo Vidal, same sort of story, less passes attempted, but again, a lot given away there in his own half, in dangerous areas when you really cannot afford to be giving the ball away. And exactly the same here for Ivan Rakitic, who I have to say, I thought gave away the ball more than 2 times yesterday, but according to this, only 2 times he did give it away. But look at that one, right across his own goal yesterday. He gives the ball away into a bad area, and that very nearly led to a goal for PSV. And right throughout our midfield, it happened all game long. There was no solution from Valverde, there was no solution from the players, and we very nearly paid the price. But the player who surprised me more than any other in a negative way yesterday was Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, because this kind of map here is something that you will hardly ever see for a player this good. Playing at the back as a goalkeeper, he is the best in the world with the ball at his feet. There's no denying that. The range of passing, the weight of passing, under pressure, he is magnificent. So what on earth happened yesterday? Because he gave the ball away 14 times times in yesterday's game, and again, some of them in really critically bad areas. He very nearly got caught and ended up with the ball in the back of his net simply due to being closed down. And again, just have a look at this comparison. Only 2 balls he gave away against Atletico Madrid. Yes, Atletico Madrid were not pressing from the front. He wasn't under as much pressure, but still, yesterday's game from Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, 14 passes here that were given away. That is so unlike him. And again, it comes down to options, having players there to receive the ball when you really need them. And yesterday for me, those options, quite frankly, didn't appear. We didn't make ourselves available to receive passes, and PSV, they dominated with that press. And you guys all know exactly what giving the ball away does. It invites pressure on your team, it gives the opposition a lot of confidence, they feel like they're getting somewhere, they have a little bit of momentum in their play, they really get at you, and that's exactly what PSV did yesterday. And to me, we were incredibly lucky they weren't clinical last night, because if they were clinical, we would have lost the game, and I actually think we would have lost it really badly, because look here, this here is an XG map, and it basically shows expected goals right throughout the football pitch based on the chances that were created in yesterday's game. And basically, where the shots are taken from and the size of the square here, that illustrates how likely it is that a goal is to be scored from that position and that situation. And as you can see here, PSV absolutely hammered us in terms of big chances. Inside the box, glaring opportunities, bearing down on goal. There was knockdowns, there was headers, there was players coming in and arriving late, hitting the woodwork. They had so many glaring chances right throughout the game. And simply, if you're looking on the expected goals basis, they should have won the game. They should have won the game. They should have won it comfortably, and they did not deserve to lose yesterday's game. You look at those chances, you look at our own. Messi's goal was something out of nothing. The second goal was a free kick that we worked in our favour, but PSV, they had big chances, and like I said in the review, against better teams, we cannot afford to concede those. And like I say, losing the ball in midfield, it invites pressure, which causes those chances against you, but I think it was more than that yesterday. It was more than just losing the ball and then really being on the back foot defensively. Our defensive play in general was poor in itself, not for the first time this season, and I suspect not for the last time either, because in some areas, we were actually bullied yesterday by PSV Eindhoven, and in particular, Luc de Jong, and that's illustrated right here by the amount of aerial duels that we lost in yesterday's game. When you're coming up against your opponent, when the ball is in the air, when it's there to be won, we didn't win it enough times. You can see here, Clement Longley lost an incredible 6 out of his 9 aerial duels. He only won 3 out of 9, and look at those 2 there. In the area, losing headers in those kind of area, you are asking to concede goals. De Jong dominating our 2 centre-backs, giving them no end of problems, and Gerard Piqué, he only lost 2 out of his 5, but at the same time, look at where he's lost those 2. Those 2 could easily have ended in goals. One did, of course, with the Luc de Jong header. He hit the bar with another, and he genuinely could have had a hat-trick yesterday. It was that bad defensively, we didn't get tight enough, we were bullied by a player like that, and it simply shouldn't happen. You can say, look, he's good in the air, he's a tall player, he's a very good striker when it comes to aerial duels, but you look at somebody like Carlos Puyol, 5'10", Carlos Puyol. Would he have been bullied like that? No, he wouldn't, because he would have made sure he was there first. He would have got up there and bullied him back and made sure that he wasn't going to concede. He wasn't going to concede chances. He wasn't going to concede goals, because the bravery and the desire to get that ball and get it clear needs to be higher from these players. Piqué and Longley need to be putting their bodies on the line. They need to be reading the game better, and they need to have a will to go there and defend. Take pride in your defending, and I guarantee things will improve. And that basically concludes, guys, the analysis from yesterday's game against PSV on the negative side. There are definitely things that we need to improve on, and there's no problem at all discussing those and really analysing where we can do that, because as the season goes on, I really do believe that if we can really counter these things, do the right things on the training field, we can be competitive. There's no doubt about that. We've got the players to do it. It is all there if we mould it correctly. And of course, with me, there's only a positive video just around the corner, and later on today, we are going to be discussing the more finer points of that PSV performance, particularly surrounding our attacking threat, with some emphasis on the performances of Lionel Messi and as well Ousmane Dembele. That video is going to be coming up very shortly for you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this one. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below on our defensive struggles yesterday, Ter Stegen's distribution, Busquets in midfield really being isolated. Let me know in the comments down below. I will see you soon, of course, but until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.